We continue our reading of Turn Your Eyes Upon Jesus, an invitation to spend a year with your best friend, a daily devotional by author George R. Knight. Today's reading, August 18, parable number 5, the essential work of the waiting ones. When the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the angels with him, then he will sit on his glorious throne. Before him will be gathered all the nations, and he will separate them one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. And he will place the sheep at his right hand, but the goats at the left. Then the king will say to those at his right, "Come, O blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world." Matthew 25:31-34. Whenever I preach on the parable of the sheep and the goats, Matthew 25:31-46, I always give people a homework assignment, namely, to count the question marks. Jesus plainly teaches that the final judgment will be full of surprises. Many of the churchly types will find out they are goats in spite of the outward appearances, while many others will be surprised to discover that they are blessed as sheep. The parable of the sheep and the goats brings the judgment theme that began in Matthew 23 to a climax. It also completes Jesus' developing teaching on readiness. Whereas the first three parables in the sequence of 5 place the emphasis on watching, Matthew 24:42 to Matthew 25:13, and the fourth stressed working while watching, Matthew 25:14 to 30. This one, verses 31 to 46, is explicit as to the essential nature of that activity. The story of the sheep and the goats is a vivid word picture of the final separation that will take place when Jesus comes in the clouds of heaven. It is a portrayal that allows for no middle ground or any second chances. One is either a sheep, a standard Old Testament symbol of God's people, or a goat. One is either assigned to the right, the symbol of favor, or the left, the symbol of disfavor. Nor is the decision of the judgment open to appeal. The scene is one of finality. Those individuals failing to utilize the waiting and watching time appropriately before the second advent eventually find themselves lost from the kingdom. Verse 46. As noted above, a crucial element in the parable is that of surprise. Both the sheep and the goats are startled with the king's verdict in their particular cases. Both groups question the decision, verses 37 to 39 and verse 44. The reason for the surprise, as Jesus makes clear, stems from a false understanding of religion, one held by most people. We will return to that topic tomorrow. In the meantime, we need to begin to examine our own hearts and minds and lives as we contemplate our own idea of what it means to be religious and Christian. This concludes our reading today of Turn Your Eyes Upon Jesus.